Do you ever just wake up and choose violence? Today happens to be that day. I want to talk about some popular games that I do not like. Borderline hate. Let's go ahead and start off with something spicy. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. You might notice in some of my videos I have some perler art of this game, even some toys. I think it's the time mechanic. I can't get over this freaking time mechanic, the 3 days thing, and I know you can go back in time, and I know the story is so much more like dim and dark, and a lot of people thought this game was amazing. I personally cannot get into it. I have tried playing this game like 4 times, and each time I get further, but I just don't find it as interesting or as captivating as I do other titles. And I'm not the person who says the Ocarina of Time is the best one in my opinion. I actually like A Link to the Past a lot. I like Breath of the Wild. So I'm not really that, Ocarina of Time like hardcore fan. And I'm also not nostalgic for any of them. So you would think that, I'd be coming into this not so like nostalgia goggled, but I don't know, guys, what I'm missing about this game. I even have it for the 3DS, and I haven't even tried playing it on that. Maybe I should give it another go one more time, maybe on a more modern console. But maybe tell me in the comments down below what I'm missing, because I've tried playing this game, and for me, it's slow, and it's boring, and I don't like the time restriction. This next one hits really close to me. Donkey Kong Country 3. The thing you have to understand is I am a huge Donkey Kong fan because I'm crazy nostalgic for the first one, and arguably and objectively, the second one is the best one in the entire series. When the third one came out, it would have been a no-brainer. I love platforming, I love Donkey Kong. This should have been a slam dunk. The opening level is lackluster. The music is weird. I don't like the monkey that you play with, the baby one. This game just kind of missed it on all fronts with me, and although I do think they tried to take a creative leap, and from my understanding it wasn't the same team that worked on it, the pieces just did not fall together. Like I said, between the music, which I think eventually gets better, the art style was pretty similar, but the backgrounds were kind of weird, and the level design, just something was missing. I mean, going from Donkey Kong Country 2 to 3, I think a lot of people could understand why this is on my list. It didn't click for me. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't really like the kind of open world map where you go around and interact with the world map. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger exactly on it, but I remember one of my least favorite parts being the baby Kong. Now I understand he's kind of like the Donkey Kong equivalent, but really and arguably they could have easily had Diddy be the one that was kidnapped and Donkey and Dixie being in the game, and that would have made perfect sense, I think. So I'm not exactly sure what they were thinking trying to introduce a new character. So let's lay off the retro stuff. Assassin's Creed. Now, this game is really popular, and it's got a lot of different releases. I mean, they have made so many versions of this game, it's unreal. I don't like stealth games. You can pretty much add Metal Gear Solid to the list just because I'm not a really big fan of sneaking around. I want to go in guns blazing and just get it over with. I know this game has like a historical aspect to it, and when I was trying to play the first game, the storyline kind of lost me pretty quickly. I haven't played it in a while, so I could be getting my facts wrong, but I'm pretty sure you like lay on a table and then you get like transported back in time or something like that. I thought the story was really weird, and the gameplay, from my experience, which is minimal, was really repetitive. If you guys could pick only one Assassin's Creed game for me to dip into, which one do you think would convince me? I've heard good things about Black Flag. I've got a couple of copies of Assassin's Creed, like the different variations, so if you recommend one and I have it, maybe I can give another title a go. Maybe starting at the very beginning was a mistake. But if you guys also don't like the Assassin's Creed series, let me know in the comments down below why you don't like it. I think this one might piss some people off, if not like a lot of people. Final Fantasy, and I picked 8 because I've owned this copy for quite a while and I've tried dipping into this several times, and I think the beginning of the game is insanely slow, and getting through it is like painful. It's so painful. I don't necessarily mind like grindy turn-based games. I mean, I play Pokemon all the time. I know it's not the same, but there has yet to be a Final Fantasy game that has really captured my interest, really. I mean, I thought about possibly trying 10, maybe going retro and trying 3. This series has never been able to capture me as a gamer, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm missing because it seems like so many people love the series. From my understanding, I know that with the new releases, they've kind of been losing people a little bit. I've tried playing, I think it's called like Type 0. I've played all the way through Mystic Quest, but does that really count? It's like baby's first RPG. I'm not even sure if that one really counts within the Final Fantasy fan base. So once again, if you guys have a recommendation of a Final Fantasy game you think is going to capture my interest, maybe a fan of the channel who kind of knows what I'm interested in, let me know. Because at this point, I don't really know where to start because every time I've tried to play one, I just wasn't interested. So I'm not being so nice to the Zelda series today. Skyward Sword, and you can probably blame this on the Wiimote. I despise the Wiimote with every fiber of my being. I hate that Nintendo wanted us to use the Wiimote to play games like this. I mean, who in their right mind would play Super Smash Bros. With that stupid remote? I think they should have had an alternate to the Wiimote. I understand what they were trying to do, and I understand the console was really successful, but unless I can hold the remote sideways or opt for a different controller, I pretty much have no interest, which is why I also haven't gotten into the Super Mario Galaxy games. It's not because they're not amazing games, it's because I don't want to use the remote. And I know that these games were finally ported to the Switch, it's just I sometimes feel like for games that I didn't enjoy, I don't really want to go spend $60 to go buy a game that I already own. I know that sounds stupid, but Skyward Sword, I've tried playing it a handful of times, and there was a few times where I felt like I was getting kind of used to the nunchuck and the Wiimote, and I got through the story a little bit, but the world felt like empty. The storyline it's fine. I mean, it wasn't anything to write home about. It just kind of, it was missing that, like, the gotcha. Like, it never got me. It didn't capture my interest. I thought it was actually pretty boring, and it felt like I was having to force myself to play the game. Another huge disappointment from the Super Nintendo is Yoshi's Island, also known as Super Mario World 2. Honestly, the art style is great. I even think the gameplay could be fun. I personally cannot stand the sound of the crying baby every time he gets knocked off a Yoshi. I don't know whose idea that was, why they thought it was a good idea, why they didn't think that would be annoying and repetitive, but it drives me absolutely nuts. And the music is great. And I do actually like the art style. I would say the levels are interesting enough, but nothing that is making me absolutely want to go to the next one. They had the spark with Super Mario World, and then when they went to this, and personally, I don't know why they're calling it Super Mario World 2 because it really doesn't feel like a direct sequel. Maybe I'm missing something because I haven't beaten the game, which seems kind of sacrilegious since I love the Super Nintendo so much. But this is a game I often feel like I have to force myself to play, and often I find myself not enjoying it very much. So if anyone out there is like a crazy fan of this game, let me know what your thoughts are on it. I'm sad that I don't want to play this game. I am very disappointed because I want to like all of Mario games. I mean, I know that's not really possible, but it just seems like this game was missing something. I don't know. All right, now it's really time to piss off a fan base. Kingdom Hearts, pick any one of them. I own 1 and 2 on PS2. I own the remakes or remasters, whatever they are, on the PS4. I have restarted the first one probably 5 times in my lifetime. And I've made it as far as like wherever Hercules is. I like Disney. I'm not a big crazy fan of Disney, but you would think that a Disney RPG would be a no-brainer for me, only in the sense that I like watching Disney mashups like that. The game just wasn't interesting to me. You would really think that it would, because I do like Disney. I really do. And maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe I need to give it more time. Maybe it's one of those things where I'll try it again one day and it will click. But I have never understood people's fascination with this series and like the obsession with it, like with Sora and the characters, and I honestly don't even know what's going on with the storyline. That's how little time I've given this series. And I'm sorry if that pisses some people off, but I don't get it. I really don't. I've tried. I really have. And like I said, I have the remix with all the different stuff on it, like the GBA. I even played the GBA copy back in the day. I think I owned it or borrowed it. I don't even remember. That might be the one I played the most, which is really sad because I think it's the one that with like the least amount of content. And I don't know. The design is great. The art is great. The voice acting's good. And yet something is missing for me. That seems to be the common theme with a lot of these games. So a little bit shorter video this week. I got a couple things cooking that I wanted to give a little bit more time. So I needed something to, you know, fill in the blanks. But it is a topic I wanted to talk about for a while. Not everybody can love all franchises. You know, I have a lot of games I still need to give a shot. Big franchises like Uncharted and Mass Effect and Gears of War and all these amazing titles that people love. And who knows, maybe some of these games will end up on that list. I don't think so, and I hope not. But let me know in the comments down below what popular franchises or popular games are that other people seem to love that you don't. And maybe give me a couple of reasons why, or tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me some of the games that I need to give more time. I want to like these games. I've tried them numerous times. Maybe something's wrong with me. But thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget, there's a pixelated world waiting out there for you.